Find your agenda in the message. Oh yeah, I seen the my agenda in my homework here.
I'm not sure anything today.
I know.
Just so that one something right with. Thanks. Alright, purple bookmark. We need to record activity 316. 316 is something you looked at essentially the first day you were in the lab. That was the page you tore out of your Springboard. It was a group practice. You went on to DoSomething.org. You looked at 3 examples of issues, and you practiced researching with a group. So how is that practice of research preparing you to tackle making your own campaign? Go ahead and answer that as your response in that purple bookmark. Okay, once you've got your statement written, flip that bookmark to the back side. Take a look at the class bookmark where James is walking over to. We need to record how 316 helps you practice concepts. The campaign itself will be graded on. You're going to see there's a lot more than 316 written up there too. So, 316 helps you practice concepts 1, 3, and 4. It also helps you practice concepts 7 and 8. So again, 316 helps you practice concepts 1, 3, and 4. And you practice 7 and 8. Okay, now 2 more additions showed up on that bookmark. Concept 9 about demonstrating conventions, so spelling and all that, you guys have been practicing it for the first 2 units. It's not something new. And concept 10, talking about creating an annotated bibliography, you had to do that for the second EA of the second unit. That's when you did the research, kind of brain fart, the research expository essay. You guys had to make an annotated bib for that too. So once you've got that stuff recorded, you can put that bookmark away. If you've got a highlighter, you can pull it out. If you don't, not a big deal. And I want your Springboard to be open to page 216. Or not 216, I'm sorry, 217, I believe. All right, now the first thing I'm going to have you do is 217. On that page, I actually want you to go ahead and cross off the second purpose statement. We're not going to be looking at that one at all. And once you've done that, go ahead and diffuse the first one. So it's just kind of reiterating the point that you folks are practicing, analyzing info text. Now, the way that we're going to tackle activity 317 is we're pretty much going to just blow through it. So we're going to, instead of reading each article, we'll be taking some notes. That way you have more time to actually start brainstorming the campaign that you're making for your EA. Okay, now step 1, the before reading, that question should look awfully familiar. Why does question 1 look familiar? Yeah, Jenna? Yeah, it's the in question. So I'm going to be giving you something to copy down. P.S. Since it's the in question, I'm having you copy and answer down. That should trigger something in your brain. So the meaning of the slogan, think globally and act locally, we got to figure out what globally and locally means first. Well, globally means the world. Local means the community. So the way that I look at this slogan, think global, act local, I believe it means to think big, but start with doing your part at home. Let's take recycling. In a perfect world, we would have a world that recycles. So big communities, big cities, big nations would do it all. But in order for that to really happen, you got to set the example. Act local. Start at home. Start in your neighborhood. Promoting recycling bins. Promoting the recycling. That's the way that I see that slogan of think globally and act locally. Now, that slogan belongs to a campaign whose founder is the informational article below. So right below step 1, we've got this article with a picture of a woman named Wangari Maathai. She comes from Africa. And instead of you folks reading through the article, marking the text, I'm just going to give you the bare bones info that you need. So what I need you to do is you're going to be tilting your head back and forth between the screen and your Springboard text. You're going to be copying notes down. Okay? So first thing we're going to copy down is the subtext below the title of the article. Again, Wangari Maathai, that is a name. It's a woman's name. She rose to prominence fighting for those most easily marginalized in Africa, poor women. So she's working for poor women in her community. People started recognizing her name because she developed a campaign that became a global phenomenon. So in the My Notes column, we're going to be writing some notes down. First thing we're going to do is we're going to write her name again, Wangari Maathai. And with her and with her campaign, first thing we had to identify, what was the issue? What did she see as a problem that she wanted to change? The problem she wanted to change was to combat something called soil erosion. So nutrient soil was depleting in her community. And she also wanted to produce a sustainable fuel. Her response to that? Plant trees. You can cut down a tree, you can use the wood for fuel. Fire. Combating soil erosion happens naturally with nutrients that a tree can give. It can give back to the soil. Now, her campaign that she developed to resolve this issue or to fix it, it's called the Green Belt Movement. What the Green Belt Movement does is it promotes for women to plant trees. By doing this, they're not only solving the issue of soil erosion and producing a sustainable fuel, but these women are also getting educated. A woman that's educated in certain countries has a better chance of no longer being poor. She can have a job. She can provide for a family. So that's one campaign, one way a woman took an issue and she changed it from something that was only locally fixed to something that became a global fix. Now, once you've got these notes copied, you're going to turn and look at page 219. And you're going to see a campaign there that you might be familiar with. So we're going to do the same thing on page 219. We're just going to take a few notes. We're not going to read the articles in full. So on page 2, it should say 19, not 18. On this page, what I'm going to have you do is highlight 2 pieces of info again. Free Rice is the organization. It is the campaign. And Free Rice had 2 goals, which actually were results of the issues that they saw. 1, they wanted to provide education to everyone for free. 2, they wanted to help world hunger by providing rice to hungry people for free. So in the My Notes column, let's write down what the issue was. What was the problem that this organization wanted to fix? Well, they wanted education to be free. Not only that, they wanted to start putting an end to world hunger. So the way that they did this, what's the campaign? How did they get people to take action against these problems? Well, Free Life, the organization and the company, they developed an online video game series. Now, in terms of education, these games are mathematics-based and vocabulary-based. So that's how they're tackling the idea of having free education. Now, the idea of ending world hunger, every question that you get right in the video games, grains of rice are donated to a country in need. So Free Life has been available for many years. You may have done this back in elementary school. You may have done it here at FES. It's something you can do at home for 5 minutes. See, hey, do I still remember basic math? Can I pull out pretty simple vocabulary words? And you can donate to people that really need your help. And you can do it for free, which is all good. All right, now in terms of Activity 317, that's all I wanted you to see. We're not going to spend any more time with it. So what I'm going to ask you to do, at this point, we're going to shift gears and we're going to talk more about the campaigns. Last 4 days, you folks have been in the you've been in the computer lab, and you've been researching. So what you're going to do today is you're going to work with your group and tackle 3 major tasks. Number 1, you want to get that final draft paper done today. The final draft paper is a blue handout. Someone in your group either has it, or you may not have it because you never turned in your annotated bid. Second thing I want you and your group to do, you're going to determine what are the materials that you need for your campaign. Last, you're going to start sketching it out. Now, I'm not going to be providing you any materials today because today is not you making the final product. It's really finalizing what might it look like. The actual making of the campaign, that's going to be next week. So what I have to get you guys to do in order to get these tasks done, well, you got to meet with your group, but you also have to see what media channels you are really looking at. So at this point, I'm going to give you about 1 minute to do the following. Get together with your group mates, have your pink planning form out, and your blue final draft out. If you don't have the final draft, that means you still have the annotated bib. So take a minute, get together with the group mates, take those 2 forms out, the planning form and final draft, or planning form and annotated bib. Go, go, go. One. Okay, you're with your group mates. You have 2 forms out. Please stop interrupting and talking. Thanks. So you should have your final draft and planning form, or you have your planning form and annotated bib. So what we've got to do is we've got to see what media channel was it that you and your group were wanting to tackle. Now there's 4. Watch the screen. They're going to go through really quick. You're going to have this information available to look at a little bit closer in a minute. If you're not looking at the screen, do it now. One of the channels you could have chosen was the brochure. The materials needed are listed. The final product that you turn in is listed. Yes, I have copies of that so you can see it closer. The second channel you could develop was a TV commercial. The materials needed, what's the final product? These are the things you have to look at. The magazine print. Materials needed, the final product itself, and last, the newspaper article. Now, on your pink planning form, you already wrote down what you thought you wanted to choose, and in the final draft form, you folks probably have already plotted it out because you've seen the directions of these things. They're not new. I'm going to be laying out at the tables copies of the directions and copies of these snapshots that I scrolled through that tell you what are the materials and what is the final product that you turn in. So what you're aimed for, again, today, on the screen, get the final draft done, know what materials you need, and sketch out the campaign. Again, I am not giving you any materials to make the campaign yet. All you're doing is finalizing the idea, so next week you make it and you have nothing to worry about. I'll be laying out those papers.